You know, you are a big face when it comes to men in the Me Too movement. So tell me, what is that like for you?
You know, it's different. What can I say? You know, I didn't plan on this. It's one of those things where I'm an accidental activist. I just literally ended up in this spot, and I looked around, and I was like, "Who's going to do something about this?" And it was me. I was the only one standing there. Now, I have to say, I'm not the only person to come forward, and I'm not the only male to come forward, but right now I've been the most vocal. And I decided that this was going to be my purpose, because what I knew my purpose was to make this thing in 3D. What happened was everyone was looking at the whole Me Too movement in one dimension. And because when I add myself to this story, you get to see it in 3D. And you get to understand that there are many, many men who these kind of things have happened to that would never talk about it. And it is their it's their prerogative to keep it secret or whatever. But I just knew for me that I know that this is my purpose. I'm in the public eye, and I said if my words can help anybody, then I'm going to do it.
So, Rebecca, I know there's not many women that have dealt with, having a husband that has openly been about his, problems in the past. So, what is it like to support someone like that in a manner as a wife?
Well, first of all, by the time Terry went public with all his problems, we had been in therapy for 7 years. It was 7 years before. So we were well into the healing phase of dealing with addiction, okay? The first year, we wouldn't have been able to talk about it, So I applaud my husband when he came to me about writing his book and telling everything, which is part of the 12 steps, is being honest, is acknowledging the problem and acknowledging it to other people. Not just your own little private, me and God, we got an understanding, but sitting with others who have the same issue and being very, very vulnerable. And that's how you heal. So when he came to me and said, I want to put it in the book, I was like, who am I to stop you? That's your journey. I did have pause, because there are certain opinions out there about people who stay together after things like that. And I did have a minute of going, what will my girlfriends think? But the reality is that however you choose to handle problems in your family is ultimately between you and God. And I felt that we made a decision that was holistic for us, that we're glad we made. We're glad we made it for each other. We're glad we made it for our kids and for our future generations. So I was proud of that. And I want to say this, to really praise my husband in regards to that true proof that you're well is when you can tell others what you've done and almost laugh about it. Laughter is a true sign of healing. And we laughed a lot while he was writing that book. I was like, there was a time when neither of us were sleeping. We were waking up in the middle of the night, having arguments and discussions. It was a really horrible season for us. But we laugh about it now. We really, really do. And I'm eager to say that it was also proof of real change, because the old Terry was real good at hiding. And I lived with him for 20 years before he came clean. So you can imagine that was a very big testament to me that he was different and helped me to have faith in his recovery.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what advice would you give to couples that are going through similar situations? Obviously, you guys have been through this. You've got through it. As you said, healing. You guys laugh about it now. Yeah. What advice could you give any other couples that have been going through something like this?
Well, for me, I always say this, is that men tend to be manipulated by pride and women tend to be manipulated by fear. And this is why, guys tend to intimidate women and to make them scared to do things. And
intimidate each other.
Exactly. And where men are in pride. And pride is our biggest thing, where it's all about the look and the feel. And I have to put this picture up, even if it's not true. And the way to fight that in both ways is for men to show vulnerability, which is actually courage. And to be vulnerable. And then I encourage women to be more courageous.
Yeah, If I can piggyback on
Yeah.
that, because it was my point of no return that made him really take a look at himself.
Yeah.
And I have to say to women, if you're involved with someone who's got addiction of any kind, porn or a sex addiction or a drug addiction, whatever, you really have to be willing to absolutely decide that you won't tolerate it. And it can't be one of those fake, like, I'm leaving. No, you have to really stand your ground about what you tolerate for yourself, and really hope and pray that that person cares enough about themselves and about you to seek help. But you don't have that guarantee. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you.